Tease at the camera, Lance. Say cheese. Okay, he's teasing at me. Hi everyone, it's the Maillets. Joel, Brittany, Lance, Ada is sleeping. We just wanted to say hello and provide an update with my health, with my cancer journey. It's been a long time since we've done a video, a couple of years actually. So 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with Hodgkins lymphoma and went through treatment and had an official remission. And I was in remission, and we made a video about that. We were very excited, and I basically moved on with life until 3 months later we found out I had a very quick relapse, and my prognosis went from relatively good, like 90% 5-year remission, to relatively bad according to the oncologist. Remissions is more like a 20% 5-year unless we proceed with a very intense procedure called a bone marrow transplant. So this transplant that was offered to us by the oncologist was a very uncomfortable and difficult path that we would have chosen. It would have meant basically 100% infertility for me. Would have meant many months in the hospital. Basically going from 20% to 60% 5-year survival. It was just a numbers game, and it was very uncomfortable. And so 2 years ago, we decided to not do that option. At that time, we really had 3 choices: to either do the transplant, which to us was very risky, and the numbers just didn't look good; to try to do something at home as best as we can. There are a lot of at-home therapies that help a lot of people. And then the third option was to look for something internationally. And at that point in time, that was just financially not something that we could do. So we trusted the Lord with the decision to try to take care of my health at home and do a lot of at-home remedies. Lance is looking at the camera. And so that was 2 years ago. And we really
prayed about it, and that's what we felt like you were supposed to do for that season. So.
Yeah, we prayed and we believed God, and we felt led to do that. And you know, I kept mostly silent about the relapse because it was just, after having so much success and feeling like we had so much victory, it was very discouraging, and it was not something that I really felt like talking about anymore. So we kept it pretty private for the most part. That's why we never really did any updates. So that was 2 years ago. Did a lot of things at home, which were working relatively well, but not well enough. There's a difference between doing things at home to prevent cancer versus to reverse cancer. And we were at the point where we needed to reverse. And so now 2 years later,
yeah, it's working.
It's working, huh?
Thank you.
2 years later, we revisited an oncologist, did another scan, and you know, things are growing, things are progressing in a negative way. I have multiple 2+ centimeter lymph nodes that are cancerous. It actually seems to have spread into my left lung. It's actually all on my left side, which was very concerning and very discouraging. We found this out a couple months ago. And once again, we were faced with the options: transplant, which we were never comfortable with; continue at home, which it didn't seem to be working; or the third option was to look for something internationally. So we're in a position now where we've decided to trust God with moving forward with doing something outside of the U.S. The thing that we've learned in the U.S. is that all cancer treatments are man-made treatments. There's nothing natural used because natural compounds cannot be patented and therefore can't be sold for profit. What's interesting, what a lot of people don't realize, is that when an oncologist sells a cancer drug, chemotherapy is one of the few, if not the only, drugs that oncologists or doctors get immediate kickbacks from financially. And it's all man-made things, and it's all just a numbers game, and we're just tired of it, and we want true results. We want to see real results.
Total healing.
Total healing. Which is going to be a big step of faith. And we actually had made some friends and talked to, some of you might know, Doug and Janelle Duncan. And they had mentioned that if they ever had a prognosis of cancer, that they would go internationally, which was, they made a pact to do that, and which resonated with us, because it's like, yeah, there are a lot of options outside the U.S. where they're not so concerned about drugs needing to be patented, not so concerned about the money wheel. I mean, y'all can watch things like The Truth About Cancer, Food Incorporated, all of these documentaries, Lance, all these documentaries about how twisted and messed up the U.S. system is. But we wanted to get out of that, and so we started to do research, and we found a lot of awesome options that we're excited about. Because once again, like Brittany said, we're trusting God for direction, for total healing. We believe that God created the body to be able to heal itself in the right environment. And I'm seeking the Lord to get myself in that environment, to equip my body to heal itself the way it's supposed to. We found actually a lot of options outside the U.S., specifically in Mexico. Kind of unexpected. You think, well, what's in Mexico as far as clinically? You think that U.S. has a lot more advances, but right across the border from California into Mexico is the city of Tijuana. And there are actually multiple cancer clinics in that area that use treatments and therapies that are successful in that work, but are actually illegal in the U.S. because they are natural things like vitamin C, B17.
Vitamin C is not illegal, but...
Well, high doses of vitamin C for treatment. They're not legal in the U.S.
Right.
And so we found these options outside the U.S. that we're very excited about. Specifically, it's a clinic called Immunity Therapy Center. You can look them up on Google. A very reputable, very popular clinic in Tijuana that has a lot of great success rates. As a matter of fact, this clinic used to do a 100% guarantee for remission for Hodgkins lymphoma. It was like a money-back guarantee. They stopped doing that years ago. I mean, that's a pretty intense claim, but they still have very good success rates.
It's one of the highest.
One of the highest, and of course, one of the biggest caveat, of course, is cost for us right now.
Sure.
It's very expensive, mostly because it's not going to be covered by my insurance company at all. It's going to be a complete out-of-pocket path. We are moving forward with a 3-week treatment program at Immunity Therapy Center starting in May, on May 15th. I'm planning on departing the U.S. I'll have my travel buddy, Sam Malave, who I want to give a shout out to and say that I love you, bro. They always suggest that somebody goes with you. It's a 3-week intensive treatment program, 8 hours a day, a whole list, dozens of different therapies that they use, that they cater towards your specific treatment path. It's very exciting. It's something that the Lord supernaturally led us to. We could talk about many stories and many testimonies about how God led us here.
Yes.
With the research that was done, with the Lord operating through the healing school at the river, with the work that the Lord has done as we've led the young adults ministry at our church, with different things at work. We could go through so many testimonies of how God's led us through this valley truly of the shadow of death, and how His rod and His staff has comforted us.
Amen.
But we believe that this is a supernatural step for us, and this is a step of faith for us. And this is where our faith is at. We know that God uses many different paths to heal. And we know that this is the path that God is leading us down. The only problem, of course, is the cost. You know, at the end of the day, we're going to be doing this path, and God is going to provide.
That's right.
And we wanted to give an opportunity, once again, honestly, to really humble ourselves and say, you know what, we need help. We can't do this alone. And to trust God with the financial aspect of it, because it's going to be a lot. The treatments themselves for the 3 weeks is $19,000. It's about $1,000 a day, 6 days a week. We have travel arrangements as well for plane and hotel. And then we have treatments after the 3 weeks that will either continue there or I will be taking home. Trust us that we have done hours and hours of research and seeking the Lord for the right place, at the right timing. And this is truly it. And we're taking a step of faith to do this.
Amen.
And once again, we're opening up the opportunity for people that we love and know to help in any way that you can, primarily with prayer, with support.
Yes.
You know, we're opening back up again and saying, you know, this is something that we've struggled internally with for a couple of years now. We've kind of swept it under the rug because it was just kind of a scary thing. The prognosis becoming so much worse with a relapse. But this is where the Lord's leading us. So I just wanted to, you know, we have this Kickstarter, or this GoFundMe started for an opportunity for people to give again. We know that people have been very generous in the past, and we've been just unbelievably thankful for it. Unbelievably thankful. The past couple of years, we've done a lot of things at home that have been very expensive, that have been out of pocket, and that have been difficult. But God's led us through that. But now He's provided every penny. But now we're putting our faith out there to make a big step of faith, to go to this clinic in Mexico. It's something that's been on the table for many years, but we've been nervous to do it and afraid because of the financial costs and just the different things about it. So that's basically it. And we're just, once again, asking for prayers, for financial support. if you have questions or concerns or whatever you want to do, please contact us. Or believe in God that this is going to be something where we see awesome results, and that we see that there are options outside of the U.S. There are real options that God has created natural substances to allow for self-healing of the body, and that's the journey that God's taken us on. And we just hope that you all would join us, our friends and family, and those that perhaps don't even know me. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you for your prayers, for your support, for everything that you've done. And we hope to talk soon and have another report of God's faithfulness soon.
Amen. Yes.
So thank you.
Love you.
Love you.